What is happening at J Gaming Dude here, and let's talk about Flappy Bird. So for anyone who doesn't remember, Flappy Bird was a huge mobile game that released about 10 years ago and took the world by storm. It's pretty much like what Farmville used to be. I guess it's kind of the next generation of Farmville is kind of what Flappy Bird kind of became, but it wasn't as ubiquitous, I guess, because everyone had a Facebook account back in the day, so everyone was playing Farmville, no matter how old you were or how young, given that you actually followed the T's and C's of Facebook, which I think minimum age was like 13 or something like that, but I could be completely wrong. But, you know, with that being said, Flappy Bird is actually coming back, and I was quite surprised to see this article and then realized, there's actually more to this than I kind of expected, and now it is actually being reported. So I've got this IGN article here, but just before I jump into it, just wanted to say, hey, if you like my videos, feel free to just hit a like, subscribe to the channel. All of those things actually add to the algorithm, so that proliferates my video across other people's home pages and things like that. So hopefully, you know, more people will click and watch the video. So any and all of that is very much appreciated. Let's actually jump into the sinister nature behind Flappy Bird's revival, pretty much. So to kind of put things into perspective, Flappy Bird was originally developed by Dong Nguyen, back in 2014, and the game became way too addictive and pretty much just too many people were playing it, attached to it, and so he just decided, boom, it's all going down. Like, we are just taking it away from the App Store completely, as he pulled it. So, and he was making tens of thousands of dollars a day, which I didn't actually know about. That was actually quite interesting. Quote from Nguyen himself: "I can call Flappy Bird a success of mine, but it also ruins my simple life. Now I hate it." I suppose that's kind of the very idea of suffering from success. Now here we actually have a Flappy Bird official reveal trailer, which is, I think, the new Flappy Bird game that's supposed to be announced by the Flappy Bird Foundation. And probably worth mentioning, the Nguyen is not actually affiliated with this game whatsoever. He has actually nothing to do with this revival. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. I'll just ignore the trailer because I was hoping to actually like sort of play it as I'm talking about it. Pretty much, Flappy Bird Foundation is saying that they're committed to the Flappy Bird IP, expanding the legacy of Flappy Bird, and the Flappy Bird Foundation was founded in 2023. Pretty much the idea is that they wrestled control of the IP from Nguyen himself. Unfortunately, it seems like the whole idea of Flappy Bird now is to sell NFTs. So, eyebrows were raised by the involvement of Michael Roberts, who is said to be the chief creative behind Flappy Bird's return. Roberts is the founder of 1208 Productions, a mobile development heavily involved with NFTs and cryptocurrency, including the NFT brand D's. And so, yeah, pretty much. And here's kind of Dong's response to the whole idea of Flappy Bird coming back. "No, I have no relation with their game. I did not sell anything, or I also don't support crypto." And that's actually quite interesting to hear and know about, because the thing about Flappy Bird was that it was like sort of simplistic gameplay surrounding just tapping a screen in order to make Flappy Bird go up a little, but obviously going in between the pipes, and every time you went through a set of pipes, you get 1 point, and the longer you could go for, the higher the points you'd have. Ultimately, hitting 100 points is very, very difficult and very time consuming until you get very used to the actual game, the gameplay, and things like that. In fact, the most modern way to play Flappy Bird now is actually through Goat Simulator, where they have, unfortunately, a game that has incredibly poor hit detection, Flappy Goat, where you can go into Coffee Stain Studios sort of in-game representation, go upstairs to the TV, and then trigger Flappy Goat effectively. So that's probably the way to play Flappy Bird at the moment. And honestly, I hope that this whole thing fails, because it doesn't deserve to be used as a vessel for NFTs and crypto, especially when we're looking at 2024, where just about now, just hopefully by now, everyone knows how NFTs and crypto are generally used, and the blockchain especially, you know, keywords like this being used to peddle scams, rug pulls. There have been so many during the past year and a bit that it cannot be disassociated any further. Every time you mention it, keep in mind the word scam. Every time cryptocurrency is mentioned, consider it a scam. Every time a NFT is mentioned, consider it a scam, because ultimately there is very little to no legal ramifications for people who are able to scam people out of tons and tons of money. And as long as you don't scam people out of too much money, you know, federal authorities are not as likely to kind of knock on your door and start looking into the things that you've been doing. So yeah, that kind of really sucks. So at the heart of this battle for the coveted Flappy Bird trademark with the USPTO, currently lists its owner as GameTech. In January, the USPTO's Trademark Trial and Appeal Board issued a judgment by default against Nguyen, who was the original creator, because he failed to respond to the board's November 2023 notice of default. So he defaulted on the trademark. Nguyen has filed for the trademark back in early 2014, and now Flappy Bird Foundation owns it, which is under, Flappy Bird trademark is under Flappy Bird Foundation and is set to launch its version of Flappy Bird by end of October across multiple platforms, including web browsers, and an iOS and Android version, which is what made the whole game popular to begin with, at some point in 2025. So it's clear that they have some sort of priority as to it being on web browsers, but it says multiple platforms and doesn't specify further, so I wonder what that kind of looks like. But it's definitely worth mentioning that, hey, for anyone who is actually interested in this, like how I was when I first saw, hey, there's going to be a revival of Flappy Bird, to steer clear of it. Don't go anywhere near it, don't look at it, just don't partake in it in any way. It is a scam, don't fall for it. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 300 subs by the end of the year. I do have my Patreon link in the description below. So if you want to toss a few bucks my way, you can absolutely do that and help support the channel. But with all of that being said and done, I do upload every day. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.